What's up guys, Rui here and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a very special one for me simply because we will be checking out one of my top Grail sneakers that I've been wanting to add into my collection for the longest of time, which is the Nike Undercover React Element 87. But before we continue to dive further into today's video, the channel is slowly hitting the 2,000 subscriber mark. Therefore, it would really mean so much to me if you guys can go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. If I ever were to make a top 10 Grail sneaker list right now, two of them will for sure go to an Undercover collab, with one of them being this pair, while the other will go to the Nike Undercover Daybreak, which I am also very fortunate enough to be able to add them into my collection. So if you are interested in checking that pair out, I will leave a link down below in the description box that will lead you straight to the full review of it. The React Element 87 is actually a pretty old sneaker by now, as it was released back in 2018, and considering how crazy the hype was for the first release with the Sail Light Bone and all black color, this was very much a highly anticipated collab released by many. The collaboration brought about a total of 4 new colorways, with 3 of them utilizing very vibrant color blocking, making them stand out and very unique looking, while the fourth pair, which is called Green Mist, is actually the more muted colorway but also the most sought after one, and I think it's simply because of how neutral and easy it is to fit into one's wardrobe. If I were to rank it from my favorite, it would obviously be the Green Mist, followed by the Volt, Lakeside, and finally Signal Blue. But by no means are any of these colors bad. Taking a closer look at the Green Mist color, what I really like about this colorway is although it pales in color compared to the others, the colors here are very pleasing towards the eye with all the earthy tones that are present here, and I think they blend very well together on this sneaker. It almost paints this picture of a mysterious underworld setting with the primarily translucent misty green upper being the shallow waters, and as you move backwards you have darker shades of color that resembles the deeper side of the underwater with the deep burgundy and different hues of purple. Finally, there are also incorporation of earthy tones that help to highlight different segments of the sneaker. Besides the interesting color blocking, what I really like about this sneaker is the very unique and interesting look of it. The translucent upper is not something you would come across on a pair of sneakers very often, which does give it a futuristic look and feels very ahead of its time. However, because of the colors, it almost has this hiker core to even steampunk feel that's very contradicting with the design of the sneaker, and I think this is why it has a very unique charm towards it. I did pick this pair up used over on Johnflip for I think one of the best prices that I've seen in forever, as I only had to pay very slightly above retail and nowhere near the resale prices over on StockX or Gold. This is, however, technically a third-hand pair, as the previous owner actually bought it from a second-hand store in Japan. Therefore, considering that it has been passed on a couple of times, I think this would be a very good opportunity to kind of check out and see how the overall construction and material has held up all these years. Now, firstly, I have to say that all the previous owners took extremely well care with this sneaker. It does look to be a little bit beat up, but it is to be expected with any sneaker that have been worn. But overall, I would give it still a solid 8.5 to 9 out of 10 for the overall condition of the sneaker. I think one of the main concerns of the React Element 87 in the beginning was the upper construction, because the main portion of it is this very malleable ripstop material, which is quite different from a more traditional sneaker that maybe utilizes a much thicker canvas or leather material. I would kind of describe it as a translucent plastic sheet, and although it is pretty thin, it has held up very well all these years. There are no rips or holes that can be found on this pair, but obviously depending on how you use them, the conditions will vary, but for the most part I would say for everyday use this will definitely hold up really well. Because of how thin the upper of the sneaker is, it barely has any structure towards it, as it is easily collapsible, and for better or worse, because of the lack of materials paired together with the extremely light sole, the React Element 87 barely weighs anything. This makes them an excellent pair of sneakers to be worn for when you are traveling, because not only is it extremely lightweight, which is something that you would want to minimize when you are traveling, but it is also very easily compactable, saving you more space in your luggage. Another benefit of the upper material is that it makes cleaning the sneaker so much more effortless, because unlike a canvas type material whereby it gets pretty dirty just from everyday wear, or if you do spill something on it, you will have to get it pretty thoroughly cleaned up. The React Element 87, on the other hand, can be easily cleaned with just a piece of wet cloth, because for the most part, the sneaker is pretty resistant towards dirt and stains. Some other materials that can be found on the sneaker are a little bit of suede and leather panels around the tongue area, which has held up fine all these years as well. There are no signs of major cosmetic flaws or even signs of peeling. However, a very small minor problem that I actually faced after wearing these a couple of times are actually the laces. It does have this embossed dotted patterns running across them, which is a nice attention to detail, but for some reason these get untied very easily, even when I do have them on pretty tightly. It's not a deal breaker, but it's just a small little nuisance. When it comes to sizing wise, I would say stick true to size if possible, but I did got my half a size down and I think it still fits me pretty well. I don't feel kind of super tight over on the toe or heel area, so if you do have to go half a size down, it is totally manageable in my opinion, but still stick true to size if it's possible. Moving towards the sole of the sneaker, it uses Nike's React foam cushioning technology, and from what I could gather over on Nike's site, the React technology aims to provide the wearer with 4 main performance aspects, which is to be able to give the wearer better cushioning as well as energy return, while at the same time being lightweight and durable. As much as we can talk all day about the technology that's present on the sole unit, it wouldn't mean much if it doesn't translate well into real life wear. Safe to say, I think Nike delivers its promises here. In terms of everyday usage and comfort wise, these are by far some of the most comfortable sneakers that I've worn. What I really like is how responsiveness the foam cushioning feels, and it doesn't matter if I'm just regular walking or performing more vigorous activities like running or jumping, I don't get this sense of harsh impact on my knees and feet. For the most part, these have been my go-to sneakers ever since I got them, not only because of how well they go with my daily outfits, but really because of how comfortable they are. I do feel that when I do have these on, it makes long distance walking much more enjoyable and comfortable, but most importantly, it really does make my feet less fatigued by the end of the day as compared to many of the other sneakers that I've worn. Therefore, if comfort is kind of your #1 priority, I can 100% recommend these. I could be wrong on this, but I think the React sole technology is kind of Nike's answer towards Adidas Boost. However, having worn the Ultra Boost and Cage in the past, whereby it features a full-length Boost sole unit, I would say still in terms of comfort-wise, I would kind of give Adidas a slight win here. The Boost technology really produces some of the most comfortable sneakers that I've worn to date. In terms of how it has held up until now, visually because the foam cushioning is pretty soft, you can see some minor creases being present and the clear bits of the sole has kind of oxidized, but all of these are to be expected, so I would say it has aged appropriately. When it comes to styling this sneaker, really the world is your oyster. I would say it is a rather versatile and easy to style pair, especially with this green mist colorway. Although it does have a rather unique color palette, but because of how neutral and earthy the tones are, it actually goes well with a lot of different types of outfits. Me personally, with how futuristic and sleek this pair looks, I think it goes extremely well with the whole techwear aesthetic. That is why, being a huge techwear fan, the Undercover React Element 87 was an instant Grail sneaker for me. I think it looks especially nice when paired up with some white crop pants, as it really does highlight the sneaker, and because of the shape and silhouette, it does give the overall outfit a more futuristic and stealthy look. You can also have on a more militaristic look with tapered cargo pants, and this will go very well with it as well. I especially like this look that gives out a rather urban dystopic feel. Another reason as to why this is such a versatile pair is because, unlike certain sneakers out there that pairs better with certain seasonal pieces, I feel like this sneaker can be worn throughout the year. Therefore, you can have it on with a more winterized outfit or even pair it with summer appropriate outfits, giving this pair more overall wear value. Overall, I'm seriously so happy and blessed I managed to add another one of my Grail sneakers into my collection, and I truly am not disappointed upon receiving them. Everything from kind of the look towards the fit, construction and material, it all kind of lived up to my expectations. What are your thoughts on the Nike Undercover React Element 87? Is it something that you would want to add into your collection, or is it just not for you? Do let your thoughts be known down in the comment section below. Today's video is a rather short one, but I do hope all of you guys did enjoy watching it. And if you have watched all the way to the end, thank you so incredibly much, because it really does help out to add in the number of hours that the channel needs in order to be qualified to generate a little bit of revenue so that I can continue to keep the lights on this channel. If you did enjoy watching today's video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel or just haven't been subscribed yet, please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, because it really does help the channel out a long way. That is all I have for today's video. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.